the symbols of God, we want to think about God. To be able to traverse the spiritual path, to find any kind of success on it, we have to focus our minds on God. But how can we do that? God is not knowable. We don't understand what God is. We have no comprehension of what is the magnitude, what is the greatness of that divine, of that transcendental, of the ultimate reality. Call it whatever you may. But still, you have to think of God to be able to reach Him. This is true not only of the religious pursuit, but of everything in the world. If you want to make a lot of money, you will have to focus single-pointedly on money. If you want to become Mr. Universe or Miss Universe, you will have to focus on it. Any achievement comes out of focus on something, whatever that thing is. So if you want to be an achiever in terms of religiosity, then your focus has to be on God. But the problem with this is, how will you? You don't understand God, you don't know what it is. What are you supposed to think of? So traditionally the scriptures have given us symbols to think of God with. These symbols are not inherently God, they are no more God than anything else. But they are symbols of God. Just like a wedding ring is a symbol of the marriage. It is not the marriage, it is just a symbol. The wedding flag, the national flag is a symbol of the nation. It is not the nation. Similarly, the symbols of God are symbols. They are not God. They are a way for us to concretize something that is totally abstract. So if you have to get a symbol of God, where are you going to get this symbol of God from? You cannot get it from God, you cannot get it from the transcendental, you will have to find it in the world. The world is made up of 5 elements. 5 elements constitute this world: earth, water, fire, air and space. So when you want to get a symbol of God, you will have to get one of these 5. Earth symbols are murtis, idols. You have Mecca, Medina, you have places of pilgrimages. It's all representative of earth, the cross, the crescent, they're all representative of the earth symbol. They are something gross. Gross in the sense they can be smelt and heard and touched. All your 5 senses can contact it. A subtler symbol of God is the water symbol. So all religions also have the water symbol. You have the tirtham, you have the wine. All religions have some form of water symbols. Then you have symbols, very popular ones, pertaining to fire. So you have maybe the candlesticks, you have the diyas, the lamps, you have the yajnas, you have the fire temples themselves. So all these various religions have used fire as a symbol. It's a very important symbol because it's the first element that can actually be seen. And in the higher reaches of the Himalayas, there was something very comforting about fire. Imagine in that cold, you have that comfort of fire. It is exactly the kind of comfort that can represent the comfort you have when you are with the Spirit of God. So the 3rd type of symbols come from fire. The 4th type of symbols come from air. So symbols of air pertaining to smell, like agarbatis and fragrances and many kind of smells that are associated with religiosity. And the 5th symbol of God is space. Now space traditionally is associated with sound. So all symbols that are pertaining to sound are considered to be space symbols. All the words associated with it are the chants. And the highest and best is supposed to be the word Om. Om is something that is used by most religions. Of course, Hinduism uses Om, Vedanta uses Om. There are words which are kind of similar to Om, like Amin or Amen. These are also all symbols of God. The highest is supposed to be Om. It's supposed to be a very natural syllable of nature itself. And it's considered to be highest because it has both the advantages of articulate as well as inarticulate speech. Articulate speech means sound. Articulate sound is that which needs education to learn. It appeals to your intellect. Inarticulate is that which does not require education. It appeals to your heart directly, such as somebody laughing or crying. You don't need to know anything to know that what this person is feeling. But if he speaks to you in a particular language, articulate sound, you need to have studied that language to understand what he is saying. So we have two types of these sounds, the articulate and the inarticulate. And Om is supposed to have the benefits of both. There is literature that tells us what Om is all about. There's meaning to it. And also the sound of Om itself is very soothing to the human constitution. You feel nice when you hear the sound of Om. So these are the 5 symbols of God. You use them as ways and methods to think about God, to keep your focus on God. You don't believe that these are God. God is all pervading. Everything is God. There is nothing that is not God. There is not something specially divine in these symbols. It is just that we create the thought association with these things to remind ourselves of that ultimate truth, that ultimate transcendental reality. And it is only by repeated thoughts in that direction that we will start going closer and closer. We will know what to do and therefore start growing closer and closer. We keep our focus on God, sometimes with the help of these symbols. When you say God, it is also a symbol. Whatever you say, the transcendental, the truth, whatever word you use, it is a symbol. So we all will need some symbol. Some will choose more concrete. Some will choose more abstract. But everybody on the spiritual path is going to require some symbol. And through that symbol, he keeps his thoughts on that final truth. And that is the way to get there.